folks. Welcome to another episode of Lake Live. Well, we've kind of been on a little hiatus here for a few months.
Summertime's busy.
It is, and towards the end of the year, and then of course the senior center reopening coming November 12th, 2024. Excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah, very excited about that. We're really excited because we have a great guest coming in, Nikki Carboni from Record B.
Oh, she's fabulous too.
She is. She's an amazing. Yeah, stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss this episode.
Find out all kinds of things we didn't know.
Exactly that. All right. All right. Our guest, Nikki Carboni. I can't say enough about this woman. I'm excited that you came in today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate
she is a journalist. She is a radio host. She's a mom. She's an actress. She's an activist.
Thanks.
Yeah. Like I said, her plate is obviously full, and I want to thank you so much for coming in and doing our humble show with us. And I do her humble show, her Dateline Lake County, and I can't tell you, it's great to be back on the radio and coming in once a month and chit-chatting with you about all things Lake County. And what an exciting county that we live in.
It is.
Yeah.
And we really greatly appreciate you coming in because on the radio show it's just our two perspectives, so it's so good to get another perspective.
I get it. Yeah. The two perspectives is Ariel Komoda. He's the editor of the Record B. Yours truly, of course, she writes articles for the Record B. You probably read a lot of them without even knowing it. She covers the Judge's Breakfast. You cover most all of those, don't you?
I covered them yesterday. I'm taking a little bit of a step back now that I've started in yet a new position.
Yeah. Okay.
At my daughter's school.
I said, well, I think she's taking on a new one. I think she's working at the school now.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the school thing, but wow, another coat that she wears, and she does it so well and effortlessly. So that's amazing. What are you doing at the school?
So I am a kindergarten aide.
Okay. That's an important job.
Yep, at Shade Canyon in Kelseyville.
Okay.
It's been fantastic so far. This is my first time in education.
Yeah.
Never worked.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But really love it. Getting to know the students has been really fantastic.
Okay.
Getting to learn about a Waldorf educational system because that's where my daughter also goes. So the more I get to learn about that, especially hands-on, because I'm a really hands-on person.
It's important to shape the young minds of our younger generation, and that's great that you're out there doing that.
Are you in her classroom?
I'm not in her classroom.
I was going to say, how's that working?
I know. Yeah, I know. Sometimes she'll come. Sometimes she'll come and do story time with me, which is at the end of the day, and it's nice to kind of get to see her every once in a while.
Okay.
The classes also do playtime together, so I'll get to see her during playtime, which is great. I check in with her and make sure her day's going great, which it always is, which is fantastic about Shade Canyon.
She's
when I first
mom, just happy.
When I first met you, I was very intrigued that you weren't actually a California girl. You're not from California. You're from the East Coast.
Yep.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Born and raised in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Buffalo.
That's
Buffalo.
For a reason.
Yeah. Very cold.
Just 2 years ago, they had that horrible blizzard where
everything was shut down.
Everything was shut down for a long time. I think a week. My mom was stuck. She works in the hospital. She's a nurse. Oh. At the time, she was working in the hospital and stuck in the hospital.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
yeah.
That would to be stuck though.
I mean,
true.
I guess,
at least she was taken care of.
At least in the hospital. So, growing up in Buffalo, you managed to do a little acting in your life. Yeah, I managed to check it out. It's Poultrygeist, not Poltergeist. Poultrygeist, okay. I'm a fan of horror. I grew up kind of a nerdy kid. I loved the magazine Fangoria. Well,
I think he's a little nerdy still.
Yeah. Okay, I'm still a little nerdy now. But Fangoria, Fangoria. Yep. Okay, and so for those of you who are willing, I'm going to throw it in the description. You're going to get I couldn't find the whole movie. I found the trailer for it. We'll chop up and put a little bit in there. So.
Hey, Denny. What? You just won the contest. What contest? Show you. And you. And you. What did I do? I don't know. You just look like a dick.
We will never rest while big business tramples over the rich history and culture of the Native Americans while simultaneously slaughtering countless innocent chickens.
Wacko, you're a hero!
Actually, Arby, he's a grinder.
Enough of these sandwich jokes.
But we're on a roll.
No, I am.
You all can see yours truly was in that movie. Now, mind you, this is before CGI. This is the real deal. This is the real makeup. These guys, it's a B-rated. These got a low budget.
Oh, yeah.
But, my God, you guys did such a great job. From
Thank
what
you.
I could see of the movie, this is like a home roots operation. This is what you want to produce. This is what you want to bring and show everyone. How in the world did you get involved in this?
And do you have a copy of it yourself?
I don't. I'm gonna
Oh
order
my
one.
gosh.
I'm gonna order one. I am gonna order one because I really need
It's
it.
because it's really actually hard to find the whole movie online. I'm sure you can find it on probably Internet Archives or something like this. YouTube has very little. It's the trailers, 4 or 5 of them. The making of it, I found that very. I actually watched the making of it because, like I said, I'm a Fangoria fan, so that was right up my alley. Watching that kind of thing.
I was in several deleted scenes, so I really wanted to get that copy to see all of what I was in. But it was so much fun. The experience, wouldn't trade that for the world. Like, you have no idea what those people go through filming. We were filming for 12 to 18 hours in a day, and they would give us a donut, and that was it.
Give you a donut?
That's because they want to keep them skinny, because, you know, put 10 pounds on you. It's like, well, and you hear that from actors. If you really get to know some of the actors, they all say that. It's like, you know, they don't really want you eating too much.
They didn't.
They're gonna
starve you.
They're going to give you enough sugar to keep you going.
Yeah,
and,
the
you know,
donut,
I've heard that from, you know, some of the people I work with, Warners, and some of them were like, yeah, they starve us to death. You know, so they're telling the truth.
I guess so, because we haven't had a donut.
So guess what? Even Warner Brothers starves their actors to death.
Right, it wasn't just the low budget.
Yeah, it's not just the low budget, you know. So they have the fancy trailers, but they don't have any food in there. They have some drinks. They can drink, but they can't eat food. You know? So
it was the awesomest experience. Like, it was choreographed, so we had to learn songs and dances, and that was so much fun. And you know,
and great audience participation. I saw a couple of the scenes, like you said, it's choreographed, so singing and stuff. And I mean, were some of those people are just like handpicked? Hey, you want to come?
Yeah, literally. So that's how it happened. Was like I was just local newspaper, our alternative newspaper had an ad like, "Do you want to be in a trauma film?" And I was like, "I love trauma."
Yeah.
Yes. So I went, and they were just.
They
like,
called it drama.
Trauma.
Oh, trauma.
So
okay.
The company is Trauma.
Oh,
they
okay,
do
gotcha.
The Toxic Avenger.
Right. They're in that horror kind of genre.
They're like the B horror film
exactly.
company. Almost, you know, they've really done, and it was awesome to meet the director, Lloyd Kaufman. On the set was Ron Jeremy. Got to meet Ron Jeremy.
Yes, he was in the movie as well. What a crazy scene that he
had. Oh yeah, all of it. Love it.
And for those of you who know his clothes stay on. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's not like that movie.
No.
It's not that movie.
I was 17 when we filmed.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty young. There were some scenes that they'd asked me to do, and I had to let them know, like, "Hey, I'm 17," and they were like, "Oh, you can't do those.
You can't do those.
No, we can't have you in those scenes." You know, so it was really a fun learning experience, and you know, after that, I went to college for a little while at the University of Buffalo.
University of Buffalo. Okay, that was my next question. Yeah, all right. And
I had a great time.
Journalism.
Actually, no.
No. Okay. What did you study?
Yeah, I did English Lit.
Okay. Well,
so similar.
That was the path to journalism.
Totally.
So what did get you into journalism? Like, how did you actually become?
How did I become involved with the Record Beat?
Yeah.
So I love this story. I've lived here in Lake County for like 15 years, 16 years. Oh. And mainly I was in the cannabis industry. From pretty much the moment I moved out here, which from New York to here, I followed the Grateful Dead. Did it for about 2 years. Had a great time, got all around the country.
There you go.
And I landed here in Lake County, and a friend lived here, and I was just like, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Super serene. And I never left. I love it here.
And you were, I mean, obviously you loved the Grateful Dead. You followed them for 2 years. Yeah. We have terrible news, unfortunately. Today, Phil Lesh passed away. And so, rest in peace, Phil.
No.
Yeah. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah, right? Like, this is nuts. Holy crap.
Yeah. Anyway,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Great guy. I as well followed the Grateful Dead. Years and years in the 80s.
Much respect.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't have hair like hers. I used to. Some hair, but not hair like hers.
I don't know. How long ago was that hair?
My wife has pictures.
I have to show them someday because I don't know if I believe it. I don't think I've ever seen him with any hair.
See it
His
to believe
dad
it.
had more hair than he did.
So, University of Buffalo.
Yep,
What year did you graduate?
I didn't.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so this is my story with the University of Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
I have 6 credits left to graduate. I
Okay.
was really close.
Sounds like
Yeah.
me.
And I fell in love with the curator's library, and I was in there almost every day, like reading really rare books, finding all these
Okay.
really rare digital recordings of all these authors that I loved and wanted to learn more about. And one day the librarian, curator of the library, came and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just like listening to some Jack Kerouac, like I'm having a great time."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, like, what are you doing here?" And it got in my head, and I was like, "What am I doing in New York?"
Yeah.
And I immediately left.
Okay.
You know,
All right,
I
that was
just
it.
didn't
You
Well,
feel-
checked out.
Yeah.
And all the way to
Somebody said-
California?
See, this is what I say, that one person in education, because the library is education, can change somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
It can either be good or it can be bad.
And you know, for me,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
I know I didn't
Yeah.
graduate, but that's always there for me. It's something I've actually been looking
You
at
can go back.
recently of
6 credits
finishing.
is
6
nothing,
credits
yeah.
is nothing,
You're
you
young,
know?
you're young.
Yeah, like, you know, and I think the experience I've learned from jumping on the road and just
Yeah.
taking on new things and new experiences in life was so much more valuable.
See, I say, so I'm not much on the degree thing because, you know, you can be book smart and that doesn't really mean that you can do the job. And I've learned that from experience running a corporation when my boss wanted me to hire somebody when I was taking, and he just like, they have to have a minimum bachelor's, but I prefer a master's. But I interviewed tons of people and none of them really had a brain that was able to function outside of a book.
Yeah.
So I learned then that I don't even go by that. I don't even ask that question. You know, I just said, finally told him, well, look, this is how it is. If that's what you want, you have to hire them yourself because I see very capable people that you have working for you that may not have that degree, but they could run your business.
Right.
And you choose to not go that way. I said, geez, I ran your business for 10 years, saved you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So are you saying because I don't have that degree that I'm not good enough to do that when I've been doing it for 10 years? So degrees aren't always that important. Sometimes life
This is true.
experience is better. Look at
Life
where you're
experiences.
At now. Look where you're at now.
Well, thank you.
know?
Thank
So-
you. I, you know, to come full circle back to that, you know, how did I get to the record bee?
Yeah.
Like,
How did you get to the record
yeah,
beat?
like that's, you know, it all just worked out that way. And I, you know, led kind of through work experience to here, which feels really good now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I worked.
You're where you belong.
Thank
We
you.
think
I,
you are.
I feel
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
I think,
I
yeah.
feel like I'm on the path. You know?
Right, yeah.
But anyways, got out here, immediately started working in the cannabis industry, as that's kind of where I was most comfortable. Worked in the cannabis industry for years and years out here, and then watched it become legal, and you know, kind of got that excitement going, and slowly watched my friends, you know, invest everything they had into the legal market,
Right.
and then slowly lose everything they had.
Right.
Yeah,
in the
because
legal
we
market.
went that direction. It was supposed to be
It was
this,
tough.
yeah, and
Wow.
awful for
It's
yeah.
just like when we're. Thank you. Say thank you, Joyce, for making it legal here.
Well, thank you. You
We're
know.
helping, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we all were trying.
But
Yeah.
I tell you, because you know, I was like not for it, to be honest. I'm not, you know, for any of that stuff. But you know, I'm also not there for myself, and that's what I tell people. I'm not here for myself. So when it was kind of a 50-50 thing, it was like, well, let's get a group of the no people and a group of the yes people, and come together and make it. But I had been in Colorado and I talked to the people there, and they're like, it's not as good as what everybody thinks it is. It's just not. The values go
And
down.
people in
It's
Washington
very
will say the same
expensive.
thing.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
the permit
Yeah.
process was horrendous and stuff. And so what we got with the city is some of them coming to us and saying, we can't afford this permit fees. Like,
Yes.
is there, so we decided, of course, we don't want to see any business go down. They're legal and we don't want to see any business go down. So it's us saying, like, maybe we can work with this and maybe do something with our permit process to maybe make it to where they can still stay in business, because it's very, I don't think people realize how expensive it is. We have one that hasn't even opened up the business yet. He spent way over $100,000 already, and he hasn't even opened up.
Yeah.
You know, so
Oh,
it's
you're gonna
like,
spend so much
yeah.
money before you
Well,
see
I'm
it.
sure he's spent way more than that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's several hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And he's
but,
probably thinking
yeah.
about, like, when is this going to end?
Is this
Yeah.
going? Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
how
There's a lot of people that, oh,
Right.
Yeah.
How much?
And
of
it
that-
hasn't even started yet.
Right.
You're like, Jesus.
And I know some that have sold their property that they were growing on because it just wasn't, you know, they just
Yeah.
weren't, it wasn't worth it.
that's where we are at.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people in this county
Yeah.
are selling their properties now, and it's kind of created this realty bubble
Yeah.
because there's these properties that are perfect for growing cannabis.
Yeah.
Right.
But no one's
how
looking to do
about-
that anymore.
How about? See, for the hemp because there's so much you can make out of the hemp.
Yeah.
And we could literally have a factory here. There's not really much about hemp.
No, you're
here,
totally right.
But to me, it's like, and in fact, I just asked one of the marijuana growers, it's like, have you thought about doing hemp? You know, like, have you thought about doing hemp? Is there a way we could get hemp here because we can create factories and hemp you make everything out of. I mean, there literally isn't anything you can't make out of hemp.
And hemp,
so to me,
the market's huge.
Yeah, to me, this is where our county should have went instead of the marijuana. We should have went for the hemp stuff. And I really am hoping that these marijuana people look at that and say, if you're really in it to make money and be productive in our community and provide a service for everybody, hemp is the way. We can build factories. There'll be tons of jobs, and there's a market out there for that everywhere.
Yeah.
Where marijuana, there's a market in certain areas. Yeah. But hemp, there's a market everywhere. So, I mean, I'm really for the hemp stuff.
Yeah.
You know, get rid of the marijuana, go to the hemp stuff.
Yeah, I understand. I feel like there's totally space for hemp. Like, there's a big void and gap of hemp production in general in the state. But there's definitely a need, I think, for straight cannabis as well. And the reason is because the cannabinoids are so different. Yeah. You know, you're not going to get all the cannabinoids that you can from a straight cannabis plant that you are from a hemp. Hemp's got a lot of CBD, which is great. And as we know, like, the CBD, worldwide market is huge. So that is, like, that would be a really beneficial thing.
All kinds of things there.
But you have to get those other cannabinoids to really round out your product. What these global companies are looking for is the most medicinal aspects. So they need that CBD and they need a lot of those hemp derived products, but they still need those cannabis derived products too. So we have to find that balance because there is a really big gap. There's companies that are actively looking for large amounts of CBD isolates, things that you have to manufacture. And no one can really provide them right now because the numbers that they want are massive. And we don't have the permitting here to get that. Nobody has that, so it's like this conundrum of
Yeah, well, that's very interesting. See, I didn't know that. But that's the interesting part.
So
I love the interview.
We've got an actress who runs away from not runs away, but leaves Buffalo because it's cold there. Follows the Grateful Dead.
She left Buffalo to follow the Grateful Dead.
Made her way to California in the cannabis industry. Now she's a journalist, a radio host. So how do we get to journalist?
So I watched all my friends' farms, kind of everything they had invested, and I worked in one of them. And it was the saddest day when they came to us and said, "It's over.
Yeah, can't do it.
The job's gone. Sorry, guys, can't pay you no more. You got to go home."
Yeah.
And for them too, they had a family.
Yeah, sure.
What are they going to do now? I have to my friends. Yeah. And so I decided to write about it.
Okay.
I saw what was happening on a big scale, and I wrote about it. And I submitted that article to the Record Bee, my local newspaper.
Okay.
And Ariel offered me a job.
Ariel offered you a job.
He said, "Hey, this lady knows how to write.
It was awesome.
We need a reporter."
Exactly.
So
like we say, she covers the Judge's Breakfast most recently. Yeah. There was a great article
by the way, that we have at the Senior Center.
Yes.
By the way, it is at the Senior Center, the Judge's Breakfast. Yes. The most recent article you did, how would I know? Because you probably write so much. But it was a really
one he read.
Yeah, I read all of her stuff. I read the newspaper fully, but it was a feel-good story about a wonderful lady, 105 years old.
Dorothy.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Great story.
I read that. That was really awesome.
Oh, thank you.
That was a great story.
So honored to do that one. Yeah. Just so grateful because what an opportunity. It's not every day I get to talk to somebody that's 105 years old.
They've been through everything.
Oh, and
we think about all the things they watched come into play.
Her story.
Electricity, the phones, everything,
So she's born in, 1919? In Switzerland, of all places.
So, it was
so a neutral country, war all around her.
The story she had were
it was a great story, Y'all can go back and read it.
Go back and read it at the Record Bee.
At the Record Bee. It's online for you.
So that's the good stories.
I love writing the good stories. Those are my favorite. The fluffs.
So what is one of those stories that just broke your heart that you wrote that just really got to you and gosh, this is horrible, or this is something that I really don't want to write about, but I
have to.
I'm doing it because I'm a journalist.
Yes, I have to. Yeah, there's a lot. You know what I mean? It's hard to write about some things sometimes. Everybody has issues that are close to their heart, and for me, I was for a while writing the annual homelessness reviews,
Ooh.
the state of the homelessness.
Okay.
And it wasn't those that were so hard. I liked doing those because it was great that each county put one out, so we
Okay.
all got to kind of see like each other's
What's going on?
bigger
Compare notes. You know, is there
Yes.
a way we can solve any of these issues?
what's happening.
Yeah, what's
you know,
happening,
just like
yeah.
how and I did an article about the homeless shelter when it was run by Elijah House,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
and that one was really hard to do because the organization was the organization that they were. And now we know a lot more about them
Yeah.
and the way that they left their, residence.
And
was-
Lake County.
And Lake County,
Yeah.
yes. What they'd done to, their own personal people
Yeah.
and us as an entire county and community
Mm-hmm.
hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, oh my God, this is happening.
This is what you're doing to us. Like, why are you doing this to us? That's really how it felt.
Yeah,
And-
and
I feel you because I did a follow up. We did a follow up show with the shelter that came after.
after them.
The sunrise.
Yeah.
Sunrise. That's
Right.
and what another.
Exactly.
God.
Like 2 in a row, you know?
We don't say bad words on our show, but you know what kind of show this was. Yeah.
But those
Yeah.
were really
And it's
organizations.
unfortunate, yeah, because sometimes you have to what I call the pains of getting something started because we hadn't had a shelter here, and so I think everybody was just desperate to have anybody take it over.
Yeah.
And Eliza House wasn't just bad here; it was bad over.
Oh.
in
Yeah, it was
Mendocino,
bad
too.
where it was.
So my
Yeah.
daughter actually worked for them for a while, and then didn't.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, it's sad to see that people took advantage of instead of helping the homeless. They weren't there to help the homeless. They were really just there to help themselves, and you don't see that at the time when you're so desperate for somebody to take over something, And Eliza House actually had supposedly this great reputation,
Yes.
and so of course
so much.
I can't blame the county for saying hey
Yeah.
that hey they're a nonprofit, they're already set up, they can do all these things, and then for what happened was I think devastating to everybody, and then the next step was somebody else coming in and basically the same thing, and so hopefully that's not that it's much better. I haven't had any complaints since
Redwood has taken.
Yeah, since Redwood has taken over, I haven't had any complaints for it. So hopefully they've been in our county for a long time. So
Yeah.
they're a reputable organization.
We
So,
know them well.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
I think if there was anything that we want differently, they would try to do the accommodations to try their best to fix it.
Yeah.
Make this isn't working, let's try something else. So it always takes a little bit of time. Unfortunately, that little bit of time was really hurtful, financially, to our county too. So a lot more could have been done, and a lot more people could have been helped, and that's the thing that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Is
Was how
that-
many more people could
Right,
have been.
how many more people could have been helped?
Yes,
So,
I agree.
but we're on the good side now. So
True,
so that's
we're on the up from that.
That's the bad part. So we leave that behind.
So that was one of your harder articles. Have you done much investigative journalism, or is not really your
A bit.
not really your kind of your
Yeah,
genre?
I appreciate this opportunity to talk about this because this is more of an under the scenes, behind the scenes, because I work in the cannabis industry, many jobs.
Right.
Yeah,
I do not write about the cannabis industry for the record,
that's understandable.
and for
Yeah,
credibility reasons,
yeah.
But I do assist them in their investigation
Okay.
of cannabis issues. In
Make
the
sure to get the
industry.
facts straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As I know a lot more about the industry, I've been in the industry for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
It's like I can answer all their questions that would take forever of them
Right.
to try and
Research
research because it's
somebody,
such a
yeah.
new industry. It's so
Yeah.
hard to do any
Yeah.
research.
Exactly.
And it's really hard to talk to people in the industry too because
because
we are
it's private and they want
coming
to be,
from the black market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
And so you want to keep things
some
on the
of
hush hush.
Yeah.
Some of them will give you like when we were trying to put this ordinance together. I absolutely knew nothing about marijuana. I mean, I'm dumb to it. I know nothing.
Yeah.
So we had allowed a couple of dispensaries to open up. So I went to one of the dispensaries and I was like, okay. We're dealing with all of this stuff and everything, but I need educated because I know absolutely nothing. I've never used it. I don't know anybody that has used it. I don't know anything about it. But I need to get myself educated. You're saying it's good for medical. Well, I have a client that is on pain pills and he's either knocked out or in pain. So, yes, if there's something I can help him with, please tell me what it is. And so he really walked, but it's really funny because the guard at the thing was one of, I call them my kids, you know, somebody I had adopted, and he looked and stood and said, sorry, Mom, can't let you in. I was like, oh, so, well, I'm here on my invitation, so go get the bus, you know. And so, but it was very interesting to me to actually really learn about the medical part of all of this. It was, and I did actually get it to where, and it helped my client very much.
Good.
Yeah.
And so, so proof was to me that it is definitely a medical need for it. You know, and what people do recreation, we talk about drinking or stuff, and I say, well, you know, we get all mad about them smoking marijuana, but or we're okay for somebody going out to the bar and drinking. I mean, I don't see the difference in it.
Same thing.
Yeah, I don't see the difference in it either. And if they're high and driving, well, they should get a DUI just like everybody else does, you know. So do it, stay at home or stay safe in a safe spot, you know. But it's no different
with
than
alcohol.
yeah, that's what I say. It's no different than the bars or anything else. So you know. But it was me going from I don't want it at all, not my town, to well, you know, maybe this isn't so bad if we regulate it and we give everybody the opportunity to, you know, grow a few plants in their yard without getting, you know, arrested and stuff like that.
Totally.
So unfortunately, some of those growers, a few plants in your yard, you know, decided that 100 was a few plants in their yard. So no matter what I learned when I was in Colorado, the black market skyrocketed.
Yeah.
It skyrocketed, and they you know, their state saying, "Oh, we made all this money," but they failed to tell how much money it cost them on the other end. So they really didn't make all that money, you know. There were a lot of black markets. When I talked to the cops there and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, it's out of control. You're going to have to hire more police. It's overwhelming to us. We were much better off when it was illegal. They literally said that. We were better off when it was illegal because we didn't have this so carried away, you know.
Well, the way we regulated it, we were better off,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just didn't roll out right.
Yeah, it did. It ended up just a cost of doing business was too high. You know, between the states and the counties and the cities and everything, everybody wanted a piece of the pie, and everybody thought they were going to get rich off of it, which I try to tell our city right away. This is not a money-making thing for the city. You know, it's fine for business. Maybe it gives some people some jobs, you know, which I'm all for that.
Great, yeah.
That's really what my focus was the jobs for people. But as far as, you know, making money and thinking they're going to do it, I said, well, let's say you do make money. You're going to have to hire more police officers because the undermarket and what these people doing in the black market are selling it, and then they're turning around and doing, you know, fentanyl and other things with it. They're not using it to redo their marijuana. They're reducing that year is going for other drugs that we really don't want, you know. So I said, but you know, people at the time just were looking at it, the whole picture. They didn't want to look at the whole picture. The marijuana growers didn't want to look at that picture either, so it's just as much on them as it is on the cities and the counties, you know. So they all thought they were going to get rich. The county and cities thought they were going to get money, and everybody thought they're going to get money, but not everybody can make money, you know. If everybody's making money, somewhere it's going to fall. Yeah. And unfortunately, it was to
it's not too big to fail.
The producers is where it fell,
Exactly.
you know, because they just got to where they couldn't afford. And of course, the more you make, the less the cost, you know, the less you can sell it for. So the price dropped, and you know, so they weren't making as much as what they were when they first started. They started, everything was great, we're making money, but then as more people came in, less and less, less and less products were being able to be sold. So I know, you know, most of them have what, you know, the ones that were what I call the really good ones ended up going under, which I was sad because I really felt like they were the best ones here.
Yeah, the best small farms are the ones that suffered.
And they were the ones that ended up suffering because they were trying to do everything legal, pay their fees, pay all this stuff, and it just got cost effective. It wasn't there. They couldn't sell their product for the cost that they were putting out, and that's why you didn't have a job.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. Yeah,
so Nikki Carboni, what do you got? Any foreseeable in the future, like any big endeavors going on? I mean, I know you're doing the school thing. Yeah, I'm doing the school thing. Got a radio show, Dateline, Lake County. It's on Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Yours truly is on once a month. You're also doing a thing with the kids on the radio too, right?
Oh yeah, Olivia and Lorelai have their own show.
Okay, and what day is that on?
It's every second Saturday.
Every second Saturday at 4 o'clock. What's the station?
KPFZ.
That's 88.1 right. 88.1 KPFZ.
Do you, Miss Olivia, have a show of your own?
Yay.
Oh my goodness, can we get her on?
Sure.
Come
here.
You want
You
to
wanna
come
jump
on?
on?
No,
Come
she's
here.
going to be on
Little
TV. That's okay.
She's so cute.
She's
She's
cute.
a sweetie.
Come to the judges' breakfast, you'll see her.
Yeah, true.
So.
She loves the judges'
Nikki,
breakfast.
I want to take this time to thank you for taking some time out of your day to come see us, and appreciate you coming and talking about where you're from, what you've done. You can follow Nikki.
There's so many accounts.
Yeah.
Just put in her name.
Yeah, we've got freelance work by Nikki. If you want to check out my writing and all
Okay.
of my radio shows, I do them on Instagram and I try to get them up on Facebook.
Okay.
And then of course I've got Lake County Tours. So if you guys want to check out Lake County Tours, I have that whole website, lakecountytours.com.
LakeCountyTours.com. Okay.
And then on Facebook and Instagram as well,
That's
we
right,
just like
that's
to
right.
highlight the best of Lake County on
And
there.
your record be email in case
Oh.
anybody's got a great story for you.
Yes, please. Feel free to reach out to me at freelanceworkbynikki@gmail.com. And that's
There you
freelanceworkbynikki@gmail.com.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki, for
Doing a
coming in.
great job. Thank you
Appreciate
for
you.
all that you do for our community. We really do appreciate it. So.
And I love your radio show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Not
guys so
because
much
I'm
for
on it,
having
because
me.
it's a great
Oh
radio
yeah,
show.
it's because he's on it too. He likes it.
I do
because
like
he's on it too.
That was great. I love Nikki. She's awesome. You can catch Nikki on her radio show every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. KPFZ 88.1. Yours truly is on once a month. Dateline, not Dateline on NBC. Dateline Lake County. And we appreciate you guys, tuning in and watching us. This is just a grassroots operation that,
Just wanted to start putting information out.
Exactly,
Kind of like sit
yeah.
down, get your cup of coffee, and hang back with us and see some of the things that our community members do. And Nikki was very surprising to me. Did not know she was an actor.
Yeah.
That really kind of for me. And we're going to have that on.
Yeah, I'll have a description. In the description, you'll see a full link to the trailer of it.
Yeah.
You'll have to do a little bit more research. I think maybe Internet Archives might actually have a full copy of it. Otherwise, you can probably find it on one of your social media streaming devices. Yeah. Who knows? It's out there somewhere. Poultrygeist, not to be with poltergeist. Poultrygeist. Yes, I know it sounds hilarious, but great movie. This is back in the day when there is no CGI. It's the real deal. Grassroots operation.
No cutting.
No, yeah.
Computerized stuff.
Exactly. It's all homegrown. So, and that's what makes the movie special to me, anyway.
So it was interesting to find that, and all the things and how she ended up here was just, it's always nice to know the story behind the background of the people that are in our community.
Exactly.
That's why we do this show,
Yeah.
is to kind of let you know a little bit about the people that are out there, because she is out there a lot,
True story.
Doing all
everywhere.
Our,
the judges' breakfast,
right.
and like she was saying, she does some feel-good stories, and she does some stories that
that are sad. So, but as a reporter,
that's what you do.
That's what she does. But she's there, and she'd love to have people have an idea. They want something reported, and you can always contact her at the Record B, and and tell her what your ideas are.
And of course, you saw that her email is up. So go back. You can scroll back and go get her email. If you have maybe you have a topic you'd like her to cover or something.
Right. Yeah. So you have something that is of interest to our community. She'd be more than happy, I'm sure, to get that, do a report on it. So I was very impressed with her. So,
me too. So don't forget to like
and subscribe.
And we'll see you and share. Yeah.
Share.
Oh, don't forget to share.
Share.
Let's see. We got a lot of things coming up, but we're gonna have a Christmas episode. We always do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do. I'm sure Santa Claus is coming to town. I hope Santa Claus is coming to town this year.
Yeah, we hope so. We had him on last year. So it was fun.
So looking forward to that, and so we'll see you before the next year.
Yes.
All right.